Coming to you entirely pre-recorded from the Garage of Solitude, I'm Mario Francisco Robles,
And I've been Brett Miro.
and this is episode 147 of the Fanboy podcast. Brett, what are you watching or playing this week? What have you been up to?
Oh, very good. So, all of my watching, aside from our superhero stuff, which we'll get to later in the podcast, I've been watching Atlanta. The third season just came out. For those of you that don't know, that's Donald Glover's show, or also known as Childish Gambino, and young Lando from the Solo Star Wars story. The show is great. I'm caught up now completely. Me and my fiance Jesse, we plowed through seasons 1 and 2. It's got this really great dark humor, drama, surrealist kind of quality to it, and I'm really enjoying it. It's really an excellent show. You should definitely check it out. And playing, I actually just a game I had started a little bit, but then like I got lost, and then I finally just picked it back up. It's called Death's Door. It is on, I want to say PC, Xbox, and PlayStation. I'm not sure if it's on Nintendo Switch. It is another like over like top down Zelda like, very reminiscent of A Link to the Past or some of the old school Zelda games, and a little bit like Tunic, which was a game I was championing a few weeks ago on the show.
Mm-hmm.
This one's a little less obtuse. It's a little more straightforward, like a Zelda game. I am really enjoying it. You're like a little bird. You're actually like a crow, but you're like a reaper for like I don't know, like death, I guess. So you're going around to like reap souls, and that's kind of like the little setup for it. But it's a very beautiful game. I think the game was entirely made by two people, and it is stunning. And
Hmm.
which the music and the soundtrack is really beautiful. It's like this really nice like piano kind of ambient soundtrack, and I just poured a couple of hours into it in the last 2 days, and finally got past this portion where I was stuck, which I'd kind of put it down for a little bit, and now I love it. And I'm like in like my first like big dungeon now, about to get into this big boss, and it's good. It's good. So highly recommend it. And I do believe if you have Xbox Game Pass, it is on Game Pass. So you don't
Say
have
the
to even
name
if
one
you
more time for everyone.
Death's Door. So if you have Game Pass, you don't even have to like necessarily pay for it. I happen to have purchased it on my PlayStation 5 about a week or two before I myself bought an Xbox and got Game Pass, and then was like, oh, damn, it's on Game Pass. Oh, well. Hey, listen, it was like two people made it, so I'm happy to give them the money.
Very nice, very nice.
What about you?
On my end, it's been all about Better Call Saul. I don't know if you dig. Do you dig on any of the Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul universe?
So I haven't. I know, shame on me. I
Oh,
watched like the first two episodes of Breaking Bad like 10 times, and like Jesse and I never continue with it. But recently, just seeing all the praise being thrown at Better Call
yeah.
Saul, I think I'm going to have the conversation with her and be like, listen, we got to watch Breaking Bad. We're just going to need to burn through it, and we got to watch Better Call Saul. I
Dude,
love Bob
you
Odenkirk, so
yes. Well, that
yeah.
he's who I'm going to single out here right now. But right now, like I'm super excited because there was a whole fiasco, Brett. There's a whole fiasco where the most recent season doesn't arrive on Netflix until the next season arrives. You know, that's how a lot of these shows
Right.
work, right? But there was a thing where when season 4 had arrived, I had assumed that my DVR was picking up Better Call Saul. So I was going to get to watch season 4 on Netflix and then watch season 5 unfold more or less in real time. Well, my wife and I got through all of season 4 on Netflix, and then we go to my DVR and found out that it didn't record any of it.
Oh
And we'd missed the
no.
boat, and we refused to do like the on demand of the commercials because we're bougie like that. So, long story short, like we're these huge fans of this show, and we haven't watched it since season 4 arrived on Netflix, like, I don't know, 2 years ago, practically. So, right now, we're doing it right. We're watching season 5 and we're DVRing season 6. So, I'm going to be all caught up on this show presumably in the next couple of weeks. And it's a master class in layered, nuanced, subtle storytelling. And it's all about just brilliant character arcs and watching the fall of a man. Basically, the Better Call Saul in particular is just this interesting character study on a guy who he tries to be good. He wants to be helpful, but he only seems to know how to be helpful by breaking the rules, and how I mean, he kind of like fights against his nature at first. He wants to be noble like his brother and noble like the woman he loves, but he just can't help but kind of cut corners and do things a shady way. And it always works out for him. So that's why like it becomes like, well, I could do things the hard way and people still don't respect me and I may not get it done, or I could put on a fake mustache and lie to some people and get it done. And it's an interesting sort of moral question, a lot of the show. And Breaking Bad in particular too, it's about taking a character who starts off as the most kind and almost beleaguered and like stepped upon welcome mat of a man, and he grows into basically becoming Scarface by the end of it, and
Right.
drunk with that power. So both series are these great long form character studies with really interesting co-stars around them and subplots and really intricate plotting, and things get really tense, and there's always the threat of death or some crazy left turn, because Vince Gilligan is a madman, the guy who came up with all this stuff.
Right.
So yeah, my wife and I are just fully immersed in the world of Better Call Saul lately, and I can't wait. I'm going to be all caught up soon. In terms of what I'm playing a lot of WWE 2K22. Yes.
Oh,
Wrestling games have always been a huge part of my rotation. I mean, going all the way back to like Super Nintendo, I remember playing WWF Royal Rumble for hours. But yeah, so the latest 2K22, the latest 2K WWE game came out. And I don't know if you heard about all this, but when 2K20 came out, it
yeah.
was such a notoriously terrible game that they basically like apologized to everyone, pulled all support for it, elongated the online support for 2019, and scrapped 2021 entirely. So
Yeah, I
for
remember this
fans of
whole
these
drama.
games, yeah, for fans of these games, the big question was, is 2K22 gonna be worth a damn after what they had to do? They had to kind of like overhaul it,
There was a
and they're
developer
basically,
change too, I think.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ukes or whoever it was, yeah, and now they're working on the Rivals game.
I
They're
was just
working
gonna
on a
say,
game
I'm
for
actually very
all
excited for that
elite
one.
wrestling. Yeah,
I
and
heard they're
that's
trying to
supposed.
make some callbacks to the old WCW versus
Yes,
NWO,
yes, they got the
WWE No
director from
Mercy.
those games.
Yeah,
They
so I'm
got the
like,
director from No
I have to check
Mercy,
that one
and
out.
yes.
But
So
yes,
listen,
how's 2K22
this one, I
shaping up?
gotta tell you, I'm very impressed. I'm very happy with it. They've rebuilt the game engine. I'm finding it all very intuitive. I love the creator wrestler stuff. It has this thing where you could put your face in the game and make a wrestler who's literally you. And I can't even tell you what a trip it is for me to like look on the screen and like, there's me as a wrestler. And it's crazy. And he's got my face and my hairstyle and everything. Oh,
That's
I love
amazing.
it. So yeah, to me, like as a long time, lifelong wrestling fan, to get to make a character who looks like me and then do a whole storyline career where you begin as a rookie in the training center and work your way up to being in the main event and trying to go for the title at WrestleMania. It's awesome. It's like wish
Yeah, that's great.
fulfillment, and I'm digging it. And I'm happy to report that WWE 2K22 is a return to form. And listen, if anyone out there ever wants to play with me on PlayStation, my PlayStation name is Kal-El. It's easy to remember. KAL-EL 623. So if you want to add me on there and you ever want to play some WWE 2K22 with me, I'll have some matches with you. You will fight the actual MFR. You'll see what I'm really about. Anyway, so that's what I've been up to. But I think actually, just really briefly before we get into any news, was the Bahamas as epic as it sounded?
Yeah, so for me, well, number one, it was like a work trip that we were supposed to go on 2 years
Yeah.
ago. So we had this big year long or like 6 month long goals that we had to attain for one of our really big suppliers.
Hmm.
So in 2019, I busted my butt. And yeah, I earned and this is one of the rare trips that comes around every maybe couple of years where they actually allow you to bring your significant other. So
Hmm.
yeah, so
You didn't
then
bring
obviously,
me? No.
yeah, I didn't bring you. I'm sorry. But yeah, no, it was a really really good time. We were supposed to go
Yeah.
in 2020, but COVID happened, obviously. So
Yeah.
finally got the payoff. It was too short. You know what I mean? We were there for like four
Hmm.
days. You know, and really like the
Yeah.
last day had to travel, so it was like really you're there for like 3 days.
Yeah.
But
Is
listen,
that
I'm
your
not
first
complaining.
time there?
It was well, I had my first time at that resort. I was at Sandals Royal Bahamian, but I had been on a cruise to the Bahamas in 2018, I think.
Nice. I
Yeah,
see you
2018.
color. Looks like
Yeah, I
you
got a
had
little bit
some
of color
fun in
now,
the
so
sun there. Yeah.
but
All
it
right,
was
go.
a
Well,
good
either
time.
way, yes,
Yeah.
I'm happy to have you back. I'm happy to have my co-host back.